of COVID-19 affect the production of web series in Colombia?
Well, I think well, maybe we had to stop. I think we stopped like all the planet. We had our festival. It was heading for last year in April, and we had to cancel like a month before it happened, and everything stopped until October, more or less. But there were some creators that decided to take this advantage and create some content in-house in their houses. So there are, I think, in different parts of the world, I think they did the same. They take advantage of what we were dealing with. So some of them, yes, they create content in-house in their houses, talking about what we were dealing with, and yes, probably now everything is now producing again with all the bio things of safety that we need to have during the recordings and the productions, and yes, if we can make it happen, we are crossing fingers to have our version next year on September.
Wonderful, wonderful. I'm going to move on, if that's okay. I'm going to move on to Young Man Kang. So we'll throw a couple of questions his way. Hello? Your microphone is deactivated. There you go. Hello, Young
Yes.
Kang. Hello.
How are you?
Hello, I'm very good. And yourself?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm survived.
Wonderful, wonderful, absolutely. Right, so I think that I'm going to throw the same sort of question directly to you as well, as what are the main features of the festival that you are director of, and what have been the main strengths this year?
This year we tried to live event with a local Korean creator, but suddenly I think the fourth wave just like attack, so government said cancel, so that's why we did the online. So then it suddenly changed everything. It's like at the last moment. So but at the same time we did online festival with online festival platform in the United States. It's called Filmocracy. So there was a lot of fun, and then also new way of online festival. So we build up all the panel and the theater, also screening. Everything is like it's not quite the metaverse, but still like really the basic. So actually we learn a lot of things we can do through online. So next year maybe if keep this pandemic going on, then we're thinking actually we spoke to their partners, the platform company, and try to something like the metaverse or something with the festival. But I don't know, it's very new, but we want to try.
Sure.
So
anything in order not to give up on the craft and to keep going. So yes, absolutely. One of the other questions, in fact, was, did the pandemic in a way help with the growth and production, with regards to sort of approaching maybe a larger audience through digital platforms in an actual real digital way? Because I mean, it's a digital fest. They're digital fests, it's digital content. But before the pandemic, we used to be able to, hold hands and share a stage and share a room?
Right. Actually, a Korean the film industry has been changed a lot because right now the film industry was really good because you know, the Netflix original series, Squid Game, was a big hit. So a lot of job, you know, a lot of creators, a lot of like investor and the sponsor. It's a lot of money involved.
Sure.
And then I think last couple months was pretty good, like growing. And then suddenly from few weeks, like the Omicron is like very hit right now in Korea. So it's kind of like very careful, you know, very careful, and especially for the productions, like the gathering people. And but still, Korean web drama, the market keep grow and grow. So it's a lot of young people to watch it through online. But thing is, still we are like independent and small like series like us still struggle, you know, how to make money back. You know, that's the problem. But big production, it's like the production like who did, you know, Squid Game, those kind of major production, they are doing really, really well right now in Korea. So we kind of have a gap right now. So, you know, that's what we try to figure it out, how to make money back through like a short form. So that's why we are doing, but we are keep a lot of like doing production right now. Yeah.
Okay, well, fantastic. I think now we can move on to Luis Felipe Alvarado from the Lima WebFest. And hello, are you there? Hello?
Yes, I am.
Hello, Luis. Hi. Hi, and welcome to this panel. Basically, I wanted to ask you, did young people get more involved in the making of web series this year than in the years before? Hello? Did you hear me? I don't know if the audio is activated for Luis. Shall I repeat the question?
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now. Did you hear the question?
Yeah, no, I hear.
Fantastic, fantastic. I couldn't hear you.
Okay, I'm saying, first of all, I want to thank you for your invitation. Actually, the Digital Media Fest was my first web series festival I attended 3 years ago. So thank you, Janet and Alice, and all the crew of the Digital Media Fest. I'm very happy to be here. Yes, the young people is the motivation for us in Lima WebFest. We are a school of communication and arts. So my camera is off. Okay. So we are really happy to promote the young people to make the visuals, the content. We are really very proud about the results. We received this year many works of students from all around the world. I mean,
I think perhaps there's a few bits of connection trouble with Luis.
Let's see. Now I came back. Okay, I came back.
Yes,
sorry.
Okay, Luis. Janet, shall we move on? Shall we wait a minute to see if we get him back?
Yeah. You come yes, with the other panelists. Okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
So we move, Luis. We're going to move over to Chris until you get your connection back in order. Okay, is that all right? Can you hear us?
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Hi, Chris, and welcome to the panel.
Hi.
all the way from the UK there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's it's been hard hit, the UK, with regards to this, pandemic. So basically, to you, the question of how did the pandemic, affect the production of the web series in the UK?
Yeah, it's a good question. Just before, I just wanted to say thanks to Young and Janet for helping out with our second festival. They both sent us content that we needed and stuff. So I just wanted to say thank you in person for doing that. That was great of you to help and collaborate with that. Much appreciated. Going back to your question, it's an interesting one because the UK has been hit very hard by the pandemic continuously. In terms of how it's affected the festival, that's another interesting one because this is our second year, so we started the festival in the pandemic. So as of yet, we haven't done a festival outside of these conditions. So we're quite ready for it. So bearing in mind it was going to be an online festival, we concentrated on that aspect and thought, if all these filmmakers across the world are kind of stranded, we really wanted to put on an online event that they could really enjoy. And we tried to merge the kind of film world and the web world together to try and make a little production, if you will, as a ceremony that they could all kind of watch in different parts of the world and enjoy. So we did put extra care into that. Now, if it hadn't been for the pandemic, whether we would have put the same amount of the concentration into that aspect, I don't know. So it certainly has helped.
Egg situation then, Chris, as such, right?
Is there what situation? Sorry.
In an egg situation with regards to your particular festival, because it was born out of the necessity due to the pandemic.
100%, yeah, 100%.
Okay, so Janet, shall we go back to Louis Philippe and finish off with him, and then we'll go back to you, Chris, in a little while. Okay, yeah. Louis, is that okay?
Hi. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Let's go back to your question. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me now? Yeah.
Yeah. We can see you. We can hear you right now.
Okay, great. Sorry because my connection. The young people is our motivation in Lima WebFest because we warned in a school of audiovisual and arts here in Peru. So we want to motivate.
Ouch! I think we're the audio.
I'm so sorry with my iPhone.
Keep going though. I mean,
okay.
You can just repeat maybe. We heard you up until the young people and the motivation. So if you from there, you just have to repeat the last sentence.
Because I am academic director of an institution and a school of audiovisual and arts here in Peru. So my motivation is to give to the young people, the creators, audiovisual people, the tools to get many festivals around the world to meet their jobs.
Maybe we're gonna Louis, we can't hear you. We're losing the connection again. Louis. Janet, we're losing the connection. Shall I go back to Chris then, yeah? Okay, Chris.
Yes, let's go.
Chris, hi. Okay, let's go back to you, and I'll give you the same question. I mean, I'll ping the same question that I had actually asked Louis and some of the other panelists as well, which is obviously how you help the growth of young people. I mean, how you get them involved with your festival and creating content and so on and so forth.
It was interesting this year. We're looking at the ages. It was kind of the opposite. I noticed a lot more mature filmmakers actually putting in work into that. And like you say, I was expecting a flood from a kind of younger generation, but it certainly was a lot of older filmmakers in there, which was great. And a bit like Louis, I myself, I'm working now as well in education. And I've been working with a lot of young filmmakers, and it seems like things in some way are already beginning to evolve, like almost like web series are now becoming even shorter. And there's a big hype over these filmmakers creating like Instagram reels and making even shorter film content. So if you could make a prediction, I feel that we're kind of already on the cusp of a new form of series coming through. And I think that's going to be almost like micro web series, if you will. But I don't think they'll be called web series. They'll be called something else. But there's a new form of thing coming through from a younger generation, because even if web series are short, their attention span is even shorter now. And I think that's what you're competing against, almost like micro series and things. So I'd be interesting to see more of that and to encourage more of that between filmmakers and see what exciting stories and content you can make on that new platform, and try and merge the two together, I would say.
Okay, so what you're saying is, in actual fact, that the older generations are latching on to all this new sort of like huge melting pot of available, digital platforms, and also and the younger generations, instead of already almost invented a new condensation of the craft. Is that right?
Yeah, I think traditional filmmakers are really enjoying the platform and really enjoying putting their skills to use and to make films on the web series front. And I think there's a lot of young filmmakers there too, but I do feel that some are already scratching away at a brand new kind of format, and that will be interesting to see where that goes to.
I think that young Kanga's raised his hand. Do you want to agree with that, with what Chris was saying? Is there something that you want to say?
I think that's been there from the start. I think
I don't know how to get off.
Ah, fair enough. No, I thought that maybe you wanted to contribute something.
No. I mean, I tried to say hi in the beginning, but still remain here. So I don't know how to get these things off. Let me try.
Don't worry.
Oh, there you go. It's gone. Good.
Wonderful. So just to carry on now that I've got you, basically, what is who wants to answer this one first? Actually, I'm going to throw the question out there, and I'm going to see who feels like they want to answer it first. The question is, on what basis do you select the content for your web series that you showcase? Who wants to answer that?
Well, I can start if you want, guys. Sorry, Chris. Yeah. I think what we really are looking for is about the storytelling. How about new creators, and these creators of web series are telling their stories, so I think that is our main thing that we see when we are doing curating or the selection of the projects that are going to be participating on the WebFest. So yeah, everything is about the storytelling. We doesn't look about the acting, neither the music, nothing about that. We just like to see how creators are telling their stories. That's it.
Okay. Same question over to Chris then.
Yeah, I would 100% agree with you there about the story aspect. 100%. It's the platform that shows people that they can create their own stories, and that's what you want to see. So it's stories, and it's the kind of work that you're seeing. And normally you would take it more easy, say, on the quality, because as long as you've got story and passion, you can do that. But now we're kind of edging towards the quality, because you're running out of excuses now, because technology is so readily available for you. You can shoot 4K on your iPhone now. it doesn't take anything to get a couple of lights together now, so it's well lit. So even though quality used to be on the back burner, we've got to say, come on, you know, if I had some of the toys that you guys have got now when I was younger, you know, making films, you could upscale it instantly. So I would say out the three, story, the passion, and then I would say quality. You've got to start to pull your socks up now, because it's all there for you and it's all accessible. But certainly passion and definitely story, and yeah, the rest is up to yourself, really.
Okay. And again, young Kang, same question to you. How do you choose, you know, the content that you like to showcase? How do you select the content for your web series?
Yeah, I agree. Those guys like storytelling first, but storytelling plus, actually, I see overall everything. You know, like stuff from storytelling. But I mean, to make a good storytelling, you need a good production quality, also good acting, and also good, you know, technology. You know, let's say these days, like we receive a lot of web series shot by smartphone. Also, few web series like smartphone, also the vertical cinema. So those things like a new technology. So we try to promote them. You know, that way, actually, that's the way our like a style keep changing with the new technology. Like the way of storytelling is different. We are, I kind of I try to make a difference with the conventional, the theater, the language, like a landscape, you know, everything. But we are like kind of different. We are like web also. Even we can do a storytelling with a smartphone, even like the vertical. So that's why I try to focus on those aspects, many things. So it's kind of promote the innovative, you know, new way filmmaking. It's kind of, I like the creator who has a brave, and then try something like new, the break the traditional. Yes.
Breaking the traditions then. Okay. So another question, you know, to all the panelists. I mean, I'm gonna start with you, Jan, because your microphone is on at the moment and you're with us right now. What do you expect the future would hold for the extraordinary world of web series? I mean, where do you see it going, especially with regards to, you know, the content that we were talking about? Do you reckon it's going to go very intimistic, or do you think that, you know, as it has happened with Squid Game, it's going to go very kind of like, you know, berserk and theatrical and sort of like with a lot of shock value?
That was a really good question. Actually, those are topic these days, like I'm very trying to think, you know, how to make our short form, the web series getting popular, you know. I mean, even though we are keep making, we expand a lot of WebFest, we keep creating, but what if nobody watch, you know? Especially like we need a general audience. So my festival, that's why my festival try make involved with like K-pop star celebrities. So let's say a lot of Korean drama, the cast with the K-pop star. So if we put, you know, those name with the award ceremony or special event like red carpet, then the general audience automatically, you know, like attract, then approach.
Yes.
Then we again like popularity, you know. So let's say for this year, for Asia Web Awards, actually we're gonna announce the award show like next Monday, and then there is one Korean series with the main actor. He's a very popular K-pop star. So if I post that guy, like he's one of like nominees, and then if I post those nomination, whatever his name, then it's like next day, like 500 retweet, and it's like crazy. So that's the like one of two, because we have a lot of good like a K-pop, the popularity, also you know, like Squid Game, those kind of you know, big hit. So we try to using like try to get together those things. That's the only way we can getting popular.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay, so same question to Santiago, I'd say then, you know, what do you expect the future to, you know, will hold for this extraordinary world of web festivals and especially web series?
Well, I think probably what I expect is that creators continue creating stories, creating and telling new stories, and telling new way of telling stories. And as Young Kang was saying, but actually, I think it is a time to explore and to different creators understand that digital is the way to tell stories, and it's the easiest way to do it, you know, because as Young Kang was saying, in Korea, people is doing their productions with their cell phones. Here as well, but I think that is the challenge, the way how creators are going to continue telling stories, but in a different way, as Young Kang was saying, less like breaking the tradition, as like taking his words. But I think that one with the best thing of our WebFest editions is that we can send our content to you guys, you know, because that's the only way that we can see how we are, how is our culture, how are we defined, you know, and
Santiago, I mean, that's all very well and good, but who are your communicators in Colombia? Because as Young Kang was saying, you know, in Seoul, he's got all these K-poppers or people that have got the key to fast digital communication. Who have you got in Colombia that are, you know, who are the people that are breaking the mold and are helping you guys communicate digital?
Okay, sorry about that.
No, it was a twofold question. It was in two pieces.
Okay. Well, I think influencers are doing a great job creating content with not creating by creating, just thinking how are they going to create a good content, you know, so their spectators can watch all the things. So I think influencers right now in Colombia are the ones who are trying by their social media, trying to create different ways of telling stories and create content.
Okay. Same question thrown over the pond to Chris. Basically, the two-part question is, how do you expect the future of the extraordinary world of web series to expand and develop in the next years? And the other part of the question is, you know, latching on to what Young Kang was saying, I'm curious, who are your communicators in this world at the moment?
Yeah, well, in terms of how it's going, yeah, it's I think it's going to get bigger and bigger, and then I think it's going to start evolving. I think it's going to start changing there. You know, and it's like you say, there's new technologies coming out. Like Young was saying, there's new platforms, and like I was saying earlier, I think there's going to be new trends of storytelling, and I think it's going to just really start to expand and expand even more so. But going to the question in the UK, the UK is a difficult one for generally support in general, and this isn't necessarily a new thing. We've got a lot of British brands that go abroad and stuff. Danny Boyle, the Academy Award-winning director, is one of the first people that says if you get the opportunity to go abroad, do that. And same with Michael Caine. He's someone who's had a lot of work abroad, not necessarily from the UK. So in terms of backing, it is difficult. And we try to merge a lot of industry people into this year's awards. And we were talking to one person's agent about the festival coming up. And this is an older person, but they're still actually an Academy Award winner. And they didn't have a clue what on earth web series or the web festival was. And I'm not going to say who it was, but one of the initial responses was she doesn't use the web very much. So I said, well, it's not about that. It's about the streaming platform, and it's about the home for streaming work. And you know,
so there's yet a little bit of groundwork to be done there.
Yeah, definitely. And so I ended up putting my teaching hat on again and trying to explain, you know, that, you know, basically everything on Netflix is a potentially web series and web films and stuff. You know what I mean? There's, you know, she's basically working for the web industry in a way. So
you could have mentioned The Crown, maybe that would have lit up.
Yeah, but so a big name, you know. So it's bizarre. So.
Wonderful. But back to Chris, I mean, just to conclude this this question is, who are your best communicators? Because you know, way back when in the UK, and as you probably can tell, I've lived there for a very long time, and I was a great consumer of, you know, TV series and whatnot. And historically, actresses and actors in the UK, especially people who maybe started with your Emmerdales and then moved on with, you know, to bigger things, just to make a, you know, to sort of give you an example, they have historically been great communicators of new media and new way of, you know, sort of bringing forward the acting craft. Do you have people who are doing it, or is it influencers in the UK as well?
We're going down the route you've generally said. It's generally a lot of, say, actors we've gone to in terms of communicating this. And even my town where I live and have done for many years, there's a lot of homegrown stars from this particular town that have gone down to London and stuff and done it. So we're trying to go through those routes and stuff. But strangely enough, our biggest communicators are usually international people that have taken on this kind of British Web Awards brand and promoted it there, you see, more so, I would say, at the minute than the UK. But we've got plans to build on that for next year. So hopefully, if you were to ask me this question next year, I'd be able to have a lot better questions for you, answers for you. So
sure. And with regards to the content that you were all talking about before, is it still very important for the creators to have independent? Do you like it indie still in this sort of platform, or has it kind of like switched gears? Who wants to pick that up?
Want me to give it a go?
Go on then.
Yeah, in case you were sick of my voice. It's but no, we're the UK, massive independence, you know what I mean? Massive, love independent work and stuff like that. And there's not as much branded content here, definitely, but UK is absolutely rammed full of independent films and features and people beginning and stuff. And that's something we, you know, enjoying to celebrate that fact, definitely. So. Okay,
well, that's good news, because that is always, you know, good breeding ground for sort of like, you know, young talents, but not just young in age. It's not an ageism thing. It's young in the mind and fresh ideas. So that's always very good. Director Janet, have we? Shall I carry on with another couple of questions? Are we going to get? Are we going to get?
So I have a question. I have a question. I want to know, in the pandemic, has led many large production to produce web series or competitors. And so I ask you if now, with this difference, because there are a lot of competition with big production, everything is more complicated. In Italy, yes, is more complicated in this moment in your countries.
Well, Janet, here in Colombia it's a little bit complicated.
Why. Who? Okay.
Janet, here in Colombia, probably, yeah, it is a little bit complicated, for example. But I think we can make it happen, you know? Probably we had to stop this WebFest since last year, so we hope that we can make it happen next year in September. So that's why we are just like in standby. We all have our selections in standby. All the productions are like in hold on. But definitely this is a challenge for us to see how we can manage all this. I think you guys are warriors, you know, that you are trying to do all this with all these issues that we have had during this whole year. So yes, we're like in a standby, like in a hold position, you know, waiting for the green light.
Okay. And what are the themes that filmmakers have dealt with the most in this pandemic year, for example, in your festival? What are the themes?
But the themes, the themes. we have main themes, you know, because our selection was before the pandemic, so we have many different themes, many different topics about that, you know. Probably we can find out, but we have the selection. We have a new partner, a new festival that is from Colombia, which is Clip Fest, and these guys they have this festival in an island, the only island that we have in Colombia, and this they did last year documentaries all about pandemic and how pandemic affected the island. So that's one of the selections that one of the documentaries that we sent to your WebFest. We sent it to you guys because we wanted to see how in a small place of our country, where they also have a different language as well, they were managing all this pandemic. So I hope you enjoy that documentary, you guys, you know. I hope you enjoy it.
Yes. And it seems to me that the themes are always the same, a flattening, little joy. Yes. And for you, Yan Menkang, for you in Korea?
Okay. The funny thing, yesterday I had a meeting. One of top producer in Korea. Actually, he produced like major studio, like Korean blockbuster, like every year. And then I was surprised. Actually, he told me that he want to make a web series, but he doesn't know how to start. So that's why, like, he asked me a lot of questions, because right now his film like hold, because nobody go to theater, you know. Then also the investments getting less, and then he doesn't know in the near future another virus keep coming in. Also, a lot of young people, you know, they don't have TV at home. So usually their culture, they don't go to theater. Actually, they enjoy by themselves with the smartphone. So that's why the guy, he's really worried, you know, maybe traditional cinema might slow down. even though they have a lot of money. But that's why he tried to get in, how to make the web series and then the content. So I told him big difference between the traditional feature film and the web series. Because a feature film is like just one-time deal, just like one project making, and then if have a big hit, that's good. But if you lose it, you have to go to another project, then another project. But web series, actually, we have even the small, but we can keep like, make a content like doubled up, So also we can get every day like a new subscribe. They're not disappear, keep adding it, keep the audience branch out. So that's why.
No, so substantially, he was saying he's got the money, but he hasn't got the audience. You have got the audiences, you guys.
Yeah, that's why, like, also the web series, right? I mean, the content, still have it. Also, keep using it, maybe through YouTube or other OTT platform. But thing is, the main concerns, like the money is like coming in is not huge amount, like a little bit. That's why the problem. But Korea, luckily, we have a lot of branded series. We have a lot of branded series, is like very popular. Also some like government that give out the money to promote, young creators. And then also a lot of local government, they want to promote through create like tourism web series with all the storytelling. It's not like boring traditional, not like that. They really good actually with the storytelling. So that's why I think that Korea has pretty good, actually, slowly building up the whole web series community. So I hopefully getting much bigger. So that's my big future. Yeah.
Okay, and so I'm guessing,
Okay.
Director, the same question bounced over to Chris.
You couldn't repeat the question, could you? They've all been good answers. I've gone off there. What was the original question?
Okay.
It's from our director, Janet.
Okay.
Was it about themes? Sorry.
So I want to know, first one, if what are the themes that filmmakers have dealt with most in this pandemic year in your festival, and and I want to know at the same thing that in this year in which a lot of big production invest to web series too, if is change the market and is more difficult.
Has it become more competitive substantially? That's what she was asking.
Yeah, so yeah, firstly, in terms of the themes, the content we've had, the filmmakers have kind of had a choice, I guess, which is one to make a show that acknowledges the pandemic and has a COVID theme, or one that just does business as usual. And we've had 50-50 of that, which has been great to see. And that's the same in the mainstream. TV shows made now, they've either acknowledged the world of COVID and put that into their stories or haven't done. And we had two really great shows that covered COVID and stuff, and that was really great to see how they made a story with that backdrop and made a good story as well. And in the UK, just as a side topic really, there's a TV screenwriter who's kind of said in discussion that these main shows haven't really taken up the task of involving COVID, because there's a really big storyline you could put into any soap, he said, which was you could have half the cast or half the characters are in favor of the vaccine and half are anti-vaxxers, and you've already got a drama then to unfold on TV, and no one's really picking up that mantle and running with it. So that's in terms of the theme, definitely a 50-50 split there. And it'd be nice to see more COVID themed stuff, because that is a part of history that we're living through, isn't it? So you'd think they'd be incorporating that. In terms of kind of backing and stuff, I think there's still room for improvement there, but we're now contacting for next year kind of the Arts Council, and our local MP's been in touch with us as well over the kind of festival, and they've introduced me to 5 funding sources now as well, which are not only to do with the festival, but also, like Young was saying, about kind of web content and stuff, and how to integrate promotional series and stuff for things and topics. So again, this is our 2nd year, so it'll be nice to come back to you next year with some really good answers to let you know how that kind of went and which was most effective and where you should go, really, if you were to try and do stuff in the UK.
Well, it's very exciting that this whole world is such a big work in progress, and you know, you're really all lucky to have this open network, and you know, having Janet, that is, you know, such a veteran in this business. She must have had like a fantastic vision years ago, and now this whole world is really coming to fruition. Sadly, for, you know, the connection is also pushed forward by this pandemic. But I have to say that in a way, you know, you're kind of reaping the benefits of it a little bit with regards to this platform being, you know, so widespread. And as I was saying before, I mean, the real added value that you all have is to have such a captive audience. Captive, but also, you know, that you have to keep on working to keep that attention, especially with the younger generations that, you know, I remember, I think it was both Chris and Santiago mentioned that the attention span is getting, you know, shorter and shorter, and therefore the content has to be snappier and snappier. Would you all agree with this? I mean, do you want to contribute something to this topic? Anyone?
Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, that's true. I mean, like a few years ago, I mean, we have a word, right? 10 by 10, which means like each episode 10 minutes and 10 episode, right? That's why we called it 10 by 10. But right now, that one disappeared, because even a lot of web series, like I can see like 5, 6, 7 minutes, even less than 5 minutes, a lot. Even 1 minute, because right now YouTube has a shorts, also Instagram has a reel. Those are actually exactly 1 minute. It's like storytelling. So that's why we receive some series like even 1 episode 1 minute, and then just a few minutes, and then yeah, that's true. Like the time keep getting smaller. So that's why I think even though right now Netflix, they original web series, they keep produce, right, like a long form, but eventually they have to adopt short form. I'm sure they have to, no choice, I think, but I don't know when. So hopefully it will be soon. And then also I think we need to build up more community together, and then we need more content. The content actually make a power. Then we can do a lot of things with like the group, and then a lot of the content. Then slowly we can bring the general audiences. Then actually we can start to make money, I think. Yeah.
Right, the last question that I wanted to ask all of you, seeing as we've now got, you know, few panelists left with us, basically is to tell us something about the winners of this year of the of your edition of your web festival. Tell us a little bit about them. I mean, what kind of content did they create? And again, we touched upon it slightly earlier by saying whether some of the content was more indie or whether it was more sort of like big production. Your winners. Shall we start off with Santiago?
Okay, sure, Daria, look, well, we are in a standby, right? So our selection, the thing is that we have so many juries, and that's a good thing that I think we got, that because we're having like so many eyes trying to see why is any or a specific content having their attention as most. But definitely, we are saying that the storytelling with a good quality as well. It is like we're like looking for, but the storytelling and the way the people is telling stories. For example, the Young Man Can was saying about the 1 minute series. One of the web series that we have selected on our festival is an Instagram series, and it's just 1 minute, and it's all by concept. There are no actors, and that is something that is really kept your attention as well, So I think that is what we're looking for. How people is like doing, like breaking their creativity to tell stories in a different way.
Okay, so how your artists are breaking the mold and finding new ways to communicate. Fantastic.
Sure.
Same question to Chris. Tell us something about the winners, or if you don't have any winners, about the ones that kind of like shone through with a web series that captivated.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's the international factor of what we get through into the British kind of Web Awards, and the majority of our content, I would say, from countries came from. The first one was United States, followed by, and then I'd say Australia, and it's great looking at the different stories that are coming in from around the world. So we've got the majority from the US and Australia, and then this year our big winner was a comedy from Germany, and that's what we love. There's so many mixed, rich stories there, and the judges, they kind of went down this route of bringing in this kind of comedy, and there was a few other ones that were really up there. And last year's winner was the series Cancelled, I'm sure you've heard about, which was by Luke Eve, and all to do with the pandemic and that side of it. And this year the judges just kind of went a completely different route, and it was nice to see content from a different country win the top prize as well. So it's great. So it's a celebration from all international things, really, and that's great, just to see what people are up to in their own countries and bringing it forward. So yeah, so last year it was a kind of drama that won, and this year it was a kind of broad comedy. So it's nice just to keep that going, really.
Okay, so, and that is necessarily sort of like a sign of the times as to whether, the winner is a drama or is a comedy. That kind of like sort of isn't really the case anymore, is it?
It goes back to what we were saying earlier, Santiago, about the passion and the story. And I would say in both our winners, it was probably, definitely the story and the passion that seemed to definitely win it. That's what we're going for. It doesn't matter what country you're from, kind of where your budget is. It's the story, and it's definitely the passion for us, what was involved in making it. And you can tell if people made it with passion or not, whether it's kind of, emotionless or not. So yeah, definitely. And if you've got that, then that's probably what will do you good. And that's what we will certainly look for.
Great positive message to kind of, impart to all the generations out there of filmmakers. Same again to Young Kang, and I think that we're almost arriving. The train is arriving in the station, as they say. So what was your, tell us something about your favorite winners, such as, something that really struck in your mind, Young Kang.
For this year, for Seoul WebFest, actually every year we choose 2 series, one for Korean, one for international, and then this year actually we choose for Korean one, the branded series, but nobody knows that's the branded because all the story take place in the one coffee shop, and then the city actually, give them money to produce, also produce a tourism, but the storytelling is so beautiful, the way to, the shoot and then production and the camera acting. Also one of the actors also a K-pop star, of course, so that's why, also they have a lot of budget and, high quality, good storytelling. So that series also have a lot of award at the WebFest. Then for international this year, the country from Moldova, actually Moldova. So Lost in Moldova. I think like that very new country, interesting, and then also kind of culture shock, is very unique. Good storytelling. So that's why we like that series for the international. And every year actually we different. The last year from the Australia and for even Asia Web Awards also this year maybe surprisingly, award winner also new country as well. So every year is like it's different. Yeah. So yeah.
So there's always an element of surprise as such to conclude, and it must be wonderful that this all your separate festivals kind of open the doors to new experiences, new talent, but also new cultures, and that's
why you're doing like web. That's why web we can do so much creative thing. I mean, not controlled by investor, also not controlled by traditional the way filmmaking. You know what I mean? Just like totally creators like mind, like new style and then new technique, and it's like very interesting, like the shocking. Wow, that's very interesting. Yeah.
It's fertile ground. Right. Well, if our director, direttrice Janet Denardis, if you're happy for us to wrap this up and you want to say a couple of words, I'm going to pass the ball over to you. Thank you very much, Janet.
Thank you, Didi. Thank you so much. And I'm sorry for Luis Felipe Alvarado for line problems, but I thank him for talking part, and thank you all for your participation. I believe we will do great things again together. We are stronger together. We participate in the creation of emotions, and follow the next meeting with the other WebFest directors and the appointment until Sunday. And the next year, see you in Rome. Okay.
Yes. With that, I have to say that, I really do wish you all to be able to sort of like travel and embrace each other's very, very soon. Thank you very much to all our panelists. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Young. And thank you, Santiago. And a huge, big thank you to Janet Denardis, our hostess and our director. Thank you, and Viva Digital.
Thank you, guys. Great job. Big success. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys. Have fun in the Digital WebFest this year, and I hope to meet you again next year, guys. Bye-bye. Take care. Thank you. Ciao. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay. Grazie Daria, grazie infinite, davvero, grazie mille. Io ti chiederei se poi, adesso ti mandiamo il link di quello dopo, se vuoi comunque restare un pochino, ok? Così magari se serve qualsiasi cosa